Yo, no maniacs. Good afternoon. This is Nomad Live. All Bears, all the damn time. In conjunction with Sports Zone Chicago and the SuperBack. Greg, who is not here right now, I don't know where the hell he is, but hopefully he pops in sometime soon, man. Hey, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about and a lot of guests, as you can see. We got the Canuck, of course. We got the Bishop. We've got Tracks, Brandon Hyde here from Chicago Sports Podcast. And we got my guy Tim Bears that came back for another one. And again, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, man. Before we get into it, man, we're going to give out some pleasantries to the people in the chat and everybody that's watching and listening from wherever their platform is.
Man, no maniacs. It's Friday, TGIF and all that. Yo, the chat's pumping already. All the heads are showing up and showing out. Dustin Jones, Jake Grizz, Armando Jr., Patty, what's up, Patty? Billy O. Well, when the going gets tough. The Shy's in the building today. Florida Bears fan, what's up, Florida? Mr. Shorty's representing with us from the BCP. Good to see you, Mr. Shorty. Mad love to you and the crew. Tell P-Jack and Foster we say what's up, what's up, what's up. Cornelius Squaz, good to see you, brother. Squeegee. Who else we got? Mike Whalen in the building, Marco King in the building, Nathan Campbell. Man, we got a full show for you guys today. Katrina Pullen and Booby. I'm not sure what's up with Booby, but Booby's in the building.
Welcome to the fam, Boob. I ain't never seen you. I don't know if you've been here before, but welcome to the fam.
Single Booby, not two boobies, just one Booby.
You got to do it. Yeah, they put that out there.
Anyhow, no maniacs. Good to see you. We're going to chop it up. We'll throw it over to my guy, the Bishop. Go for it, Bish.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. TGIF. Today is Friday. Thank God it's Friday, right? Well, hey, looky here. We've made it through another week, and we're getting ready to chop it up and talk some Bears football. To my notables, you know who you are, my man Stewart and Sophie out in Florida. My man V-Dub up in D-Town out on that truck. Rita, Felicia, the west side of Chicago, the south side of Chicago, Chi-Town, stand up. Oh, yeah, and by the way, let me holler at my guys on the panel. Nomad, Kedz, 10 Bears, Tracks, my man. How y'all doing? And Shawn, wherever you at, my brother, it's a pleasure chopping it up with you guys, man. As always, I do appreciate it. And I'm going to give a special shout out today to my two sons, my boy Frano up at Success, and my son Keith Jr., who is at Iridium. Y'all go check them guys out and copy all the gear you need, sneakers and everything. But other than that, I just want to say, hey, let's talk Bears football today. Let's get it on, y'all. Let's get it on. Let's go. 10 Bears. What it do, my brother?
Oh, man. Peace and blessings to everybody out there in the chat, to the panel. Nomad invite me once again. You know, he's saying call the Dino Box into action again. So, you know, I'm just here just chilling. And, you know what I'm saying, man, just relaxing. It's another beautiful day in the USA. What's going on with you, Mr. B?
Hey, what's up, guys? Pleasure to be here, man. I could not be happier to spend a TGIF, man, with you guys, man. I'm so excited. I'm so blessed. I can't wait to break down some Bears with you guys. Let's do this.
Oh, no, Mr. B. You got to go ahead and break the news to the folks, man. You're highly favored, man, right now. I think it's good to let the crowd know exactly what you got going on because you're building over there just like we are, man. But you got some good stuff, man. You got some good stuff going on. Go ahead if you want to share.
Yeah, I just got off of a teams meeting at 2:30. Talked to a casino that's being built off of Halstead, and they are interested in partnering with us right outside of their sports book, and they also just signed a contract with the Chicago Bulls, a 3-year contract. So they are going to talk to them and have them partner up with us as well to work together to bring some entertainment, bring some podcasting to that casino. And potentially this casino especially, they're excited because they can have these fresh looks and change it up all the time and be able to do this the way the layout is, whatever. I'll have more details later on in October, but right now it's just kind of surreal. You know, I'm just truly blessed and honored, and you know, I couldn't do it without anybody, you know, anybody and everybody, all the people, the we're all a community, like Nomad preaches about. We're all in this together, really, and everybody. There's even more things that are going on too. There's another casino in Rockford that they're breaking ground, and potentially that it's a lot. it's a lot of information. I don't even know. I that's all I got for you guys right now. It's a lot going on. So, but Chicago Sports Podcast, the staff, all my co-hosts, everybody, my family, my son, my daughter, my wife, everybody that's been putting up with these crazy hours and stuff. And I all owe it to the glory of God, and also helping Mongo out was a huge step. Man, it was taxing. It was a lot on the family, but I thought it was the right thing to do. My mom passed in 2009, and I said, if the good Lord ever gave me a platform or some way to be a blessing and help someone out in that time of need, then I would. And then that's when Mongo came, and the rest is pretty much history, guys.
All right. Well, how about this, man?
Congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Hey, look here, man. I just want to put this a little bit on you. Don't forget your friends. You got friends in low places.
Absolutely, baby.
Just don't forget about us on the way up, man. Let's build now. Let's keep building.
Let's do it, man.
Hey, Shawn, you just made it to the show, man. You want to get some shout outs right quick?
I just want to say Sports Owners and Nomaniacs Unite. TGI Mickey Ficky Friday, baby. It's the weekend, baby. And I am fired up, man. Great. Great to tune in. Make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel, as well as obviously Chicago Sports Podcast and the Nomad Network. Man, I'm fired up. It's the weekend. The sun, man, if you're down here in Chicago, man, the sun just came out. Woo, Charlie, it's been raining the last couple of days. You know, they say April showers bring May flowers, but man, it's been raining for a minute. It's Friday. The sun is out. It's going about 45, almost 50 degrees today. That's what I'm talking about. So ready to talk some Bears football.
All right, man. Let's go ahead. Let's build, man. Let's build. Hey, this conversation is directly for Tim Bears, because I believe Tim Bears is in New Jersey. This is a little bit off script. And as you all might have heard by now, there was an earthquake on the East Coast. I think it was a 4.8. And
I heard 5.5. 5.5.
Oh, they changed that.
Wow.
They changed that. Yeah. So, I just want to speak on that with him and make sure, apparently he looks fine and not unhurt. But how was it for you over there? And what have you heard so far, man? And how are people reacting to it?
It was good, man. I mean, not good, but you know what I'm saying? We all in one piece. It wasn't nothing too much. I mean, it's a little bit shock to the system, but I done lived on the West Coast and then had some earthquakes in a lot of different places. So, it's just a standard little earthquake. You just kind of, depending on where you at, as far as being close to the epicenter away, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit shock to the system. It was a little made for some good conversation, and depending on your thought processes, just where you at, you can take it how you want to take it. You know what I'm saying? So, it went too bad though, as far as people, everybody asking why, what, but we really on one big fault line as far as just the continental United States anyway, when you understand geography and topography and all them little different things, all them big words and all that stuff. So, understand that anything can happen at any given time. And, sometimes like Samuel Jackson said, man, there's some known knowns and some known unknowns. So, hey, categorize it how you wish.
Okay, real quickly, I'm gonna just speak to this, and we can move on unless somebody has got something to speak to on that. I made a statement on Twitter today, and it went more or less like there's some spiritual happenings, and this ain't got anything to do with religion per se, but there's some spiritual going on, some spiritual happenings going on right now. That some in the know, people that know, and people that don't probably they probably need to learn. I wouldn't say need to; they ought to learn. Spiritual realignment is a thing out there, and I don't want to get too deep into the weeds about that. And we're gonna do some content later on to speak to that kind of stuff specifically. But where you are spiritually is important right now, guys, and it's got nothing to do with Bears sports, and it's about life and where you are in the spiritual realm. and the frequency you vibe in. I spoke to that, probably a little bit, before, but not to the depths that we're going to have that conversation later on as we put out more content. But I digress, man. Let's get to some football, man, because there's some stuff going on. Let's get to some small notes about some of the moves that are being made out there. Man, I'm telling you guys right now, kids, the defensive tackle market is booming. When I say booming, those are the guys that are getting money right now. I think it's largely due to Chris Jones and his ascension with the Chiefs. They're back-to-back champions, largely on the back of what he does. That kind of engineers the whole thing on defense for them. So Derek Brown for the Carolina Panthers just got. Let me see here. I think he got. I'm looking. Hang on, guys. I think he got 4 years, 3 to 4 years, like $24 million a year. That's huge, man. Anybody that he's ranked probably about the fourth best defensive tackle in the league. And so I just want to speak on that.
No matter, it was 4 years, 96 million with 63 guaranteed.
Okay, yes. 63 guaranteed. Right. I'm looking at it now. I found it in my scribbly notes, but yeah, I think the market is booming, and I think it's engineered and kind of Chris Jones is the catalyst of it. So if anybody wants to speak to that, go right ahead, kid.
Oh man. Okay, so first of all, you got to take a look at who signed this cat. Now, not to take anything away from him, but they needed to do something something. They need to spend some money somewhere, do something on that defensive line because, hey, we got the number one pick courtesy of who. So kudos to them. Hopefully something pops off. But then I start to think, wait a minute, why didn't you spend that money on Brian Burns? No, is it just me? Maybe you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why you let go of Brian Burns and then you done all kinds of what priority where.
Well, they prioritize the interior of the defense more than they do an edge, apparently.
I'm not sure what kind of sense that makes. And here's why I'm saying that. Even from a priority perspective, if you have a man in the building and he's showing out, you let him go because you think because a position you don't have, you'd rather go and pay someone. It doesn't make that doesn't make it just doesn't.
Well, how about this? Let's put it this way: how many edge rushers did you see that got really, really paid this year? It was only a couple. But however, versus he's number 4 behind a few more that got paid this year, and that would be Chris Jones, Christian Wilkins, and Justin Madubuike. So that tells you right there the market was higher, a lot higher, and the position is valued more than the edge is apparently. Right now, that's what the numbers say. And so it's just to add to what you're talking about.
I got another problem with this, and my other problem is how deep the defensive tackle class is this season in the draft. It's pretty deep, and folks aren't really looking at it. But I'll leave it there, and I'll throw it over to my homie Bishop. Go for it, Bishop.
Well, first and foremost, let's just say what it is. It actually started with Aaron Donald when he started getting that big money playing that D tackle position. But more importantly, it must be it's a good time to be a big sexy. You know what I'm saying? Them big sexy's getting that money, baby, on both sides of the line. So hey, kudos to them, man. Kudos to them. But to piggyback off what Kedz said. One, look at the team that spent the money. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like you said, I'm with you on that, man. You let Burns out the building to spend this money on a D tackle when the D tackle depth in this draft, you can get what you want to get at a much cheaper price tag. But again, I digress. We are talking about who, and they seem to not make very wise decisions anyway. But kudos to them. Hey, just keep spending that money and keep being the worst team in the league. Maybe you do a trade with somebody else and they can end up getting the first pick in the draft. Who knows? But either way, I'm going to pass it to my man, Tim Bears. Tim Bears, what you got to say about it, brother?
Hey, saying I don't really think it's too, it wasn't a big reach for them. They was going to spend the money anyway. I think people get too caught up in like the NFL. It's all a commodity. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one big umbrella. So paying this guy, paying that guy, it's all the NFL. So you got to spend the money somewhere. And he is one of the better defensive linemen in the league. So, you know what I'm saying? You was gonna come out either way at the same thing. They, like I said, they could have kept Brian Burns, they could have let him go. It's all just team building. To me, like all these teams, you got 10 players that's gonna make probably about 70-85% of their salary cap. The rest of that is just filler. So, you know what I'm saying? Not major. What about you, Mr. B?
I'm excited. I hearing about the big sexies getting money, man. I like it. I like it. I had a really nice conversation with Tommy Harris about a month ago, and he was talking about how important that the interior defensive linemen are, especially if you're looking at like a 4-3, like 3 technique. What is he? Where is he at, Nomad, on the interior?
You talking about Brown?
Yeah,
He's a 3. He's a 3 tech.
okay, so I asked him how important it is for the 3 technique in the 4-3 defense. He says, okay, the engine is the 4-3, and basically the ignition is the 3 technique. He goes, if I don't go, we don't go. And that's basically what he said. And I mean, they're just a little sidebar. He's really fond of Jervon. He says he saw some amazing things. He was down in Florida, and I guess down in Florida they were asking him to kind of like read and react instead of fire off. And he says this guy's got a motor, and the way his technique is flawless. He loves the way that he attacks and whatnot. So that's just a little sidebar, not to get off track, Nomad, but you know, the whole thing with Tommy was he actually valued and thinks that that's more important in that scheme, in that 4-3 than the outside, the edges.
Yeah, I real quick, Shawn, before you go, I just wanted to speak to what he said. And I was spent a whole lot of time last year when we got Dexter, explaining, everybody's, oh, he's slow off the line, he doesn't fire off the line. I'm like, he's doing a different technique. It's called 2 gapping versus 1 gapping when you attack and get vertical. And I spent a lot of time. I think people that watch the channel now understand that better. But yes, I felt like once he got rid of that muscle memory of the 2 gapping and kind of like gliding along the line of scrimmage and maintaining 2 gaps is what it's called. Then once he got that muscle memory out of him, I felt like we seen it for about half a season, and then later towards the end, Shawn, wouldn't you agree that you could see that muscle memory wearing off, and he was getting up that field a whole lot faster? What did you see?
Well, yeah, I talked to him about it in the locker room post game. All right, he started having a good thing, but we all knew that. Anyone who knows football understands that the 4-3, that the D tackle is the thing that runs it. It goes all the way back to we can go back to Warren Sapp, all right, back in the early 2000s. So that's nothing new. It's nothing, and it's nothing. It's not earth shattering. All right, and we got to make sure we do that. We get someone there who's dynamic. Aaron Donald fit that position for 10 years. Definitely a gold jacket. A guy and probably a first ballot Hall of Famer, and we're trying to get the same here. And Gervon Dexter might be that dude. I don't mean gold jacket, but he might be that dude that's going to be that disruptor. All right, that disruptor is what you need, because it doesn't matter what sport you're in. If you're strong defensively up the middle, your defense will most likely be good. If you're weak defensively up the middle, whatever sport it is, you're most likely not going to be a good team. All right, and the 3 tech is up the middle. I mean, one side or the other, but he's the guy who penetrates, disrupts, and when you collapse the pocket from the inside, when you get penetration the inside on run plays, or especially on pass plays, it causes a lot of problems for offenses. Can Gervon Dexter be that dude? I think he can. I saw him at camp. From my reports, if you want to go back and check out what I said about him last year at camp, I'm like, that dude is a monster. He looked raw, but he was learning a new technique. He had to do different things that he did in college, and once he got comfortable with it, we saw literally the tip of the iceberg the last 5 or 6 weeks of the season, where he was just going ham. So this guy, I believe, is about to have a breakout season. I think him understanding the position better, him along with Coach Washington, all right, guiding the way, it's going to lead to a lot of good plays by that young man. in the 2024 season and beyond?
Well, really quickly, I also think this is going to bode well for DeForest Buckner, who is up for an extension this year. Somebody I was hoping, until we drafted a couple 3-techs, I was hoping that we would be able to get our hands on. But I'm sure in this market, I tell you what, Indianapolis has a choice to make, and I think the right choice for them, if they want to contend, is to get Buckner back on an extension, get him in the building for at least the next couple 2-3 years. And I think that's the best move for him. But the market is booming, no question about it, for D tackles, no question about that. But
And
let's talk about
Nomad, before you switch, I just wanted to make a point to Kedz. I don't know how familiar you guys are with Derek Brown. Derek Brown is probably, and Chris Jones is the most coveted defensive tackle in the league now. Okay, and he's younger. This dude he's not human. So you might want to go back and check him out, but he definitely would have more value to the Panthers and probably any other team than Brian Burns right now. Dude, he's unreal right now. So I just wanted to say that.
if
Yeah,
you
you
can't,
know they
Okay,
call
like,
Derek
I'm sure
Brown.
somebody over there knows what they're doing, but
if,
maybe I might be lying.
if you can't plug the middle, you're in trouble just from the jump. If you can't plug
Derek,
that, you are in trouble.
Derek Brown in everyday life is called a problem, bro. You don't want to line up and play against him. You watch some Carolina games, you see a lot of guards and centers spend the whole day. He one of them cats you want to start fighting with because he beating you up for about 60 minutes. He gonna beat you down.
Super tough. Yeah, I agree with that, man. But yeah, I think that's remarkable for some of the young cats coming up, like Javon Dexter. Sets up a good market for him to really get the money I think he's going to earn in his next couple of years here. And I just hope to see him ascend. And I just thought that would be a good conversation in relation to the young guys that we have on the roster. The market looks good for them right now, and I just hope they get what they came to get. But let's talk about some other little news and notes we have. Let me see. The Giants re-signed linebacker DN Isaiah Simmons. Here's another one. Lyle Collins returns to the NFL on a 1-year deal with the Bills. I think it's likely a direct response from them losing Ryan Bates to us. They needed to backfill that position. Anybody want to speak to that?
Like they in trouble this season. I think me and Bishop chopped it up on this particular topic, but really just the Bills as a whole. I'll keep it short but sweet, but I don't. They're gonna have a heck of a time getting to the AFC postseason next year. I'm not sure if they make it out of their division. Bishop.
Yeah, I think I will say this. I would never count them out because they got Josh Allen, but they got some holes to fill now. You know, because they have Josh Allen. I think what they really tried to do and what they have done now is gotten any identity of Brian Daboll off of the team. And now they're moving forward with their current offensive coordinator, and they're going to implement and have a new identity as to what they want their offense to look like. So we'll see. You know, hey, whatever happens to them, kudos. They're in the AFC, so do their thing. You know, more power to them. Tim Bears.
Yeah, I think we'll go back to the last conversation, like we just said, man. The rest of these guys are just filler, and you know, and you got to rebuild the team every 4 to 5 years. Once you get a quarterback, you're gonna get them on a rookie deal. After that 4 or 5 years, now everybody else is interchangeable. They're all a whole bunch of interchangeable pieces, like a car. Once you buy the car, you're gonna be getting some tune-ups. You're gonna change some tires. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? You might put a little bit of this on that, put a little bit of this, you know. So. Hey, and Josh Allen, you know, if he's hit his maturation point, he might be strong enough to carry him. You know what I'm saying? If not, then hey, it's still a work in progress. What you think, B-Tracks?
I'm a little concerned about how well Bobby Babich is going to do in place of Williams now that Williams is gone. You don't really know, you know, get piggybacking off of what Kedz was saying, you know, what's going to happen, you know, that whole team kind of looks like they're doing more than just rotating the tires, man. It might be a complete engine swap. Who knows, you know, but all I know is I'm glad we got Williams instead of Babich.
Right.
Do you know anything about Babich other than him being a linebacker coach?
That's it.
That's about it.
Babbage. We talking about Bob Babbage or the I think it's a Bob Babbage and a son, I think.
Yeah, Bobby, the new head or defensive coordinator for the Bills.
For the Bills.
Yeah, I don't know that much about him other than he was Bears affiliated at one time, I believe.
Okay.
That's about all I know about him. Other than that, man, I was just more or less thinking about Lyle Collins, who a guy who I kept my eyes on all last offseason. I mean, during the season, as a matter of fact, when we started really having struggles at the O-line position, I'm like, why haven't they brought this guy in for at least a workout, see how healthy he is? Because he did have an injury when he was with the Cowboys that kind of sidelined him for a year. But I think he spent all last year really completely to rehab. I think I want to say it was a knee, but it could have been something else. But I always consider him one of the A or A- level offensive lineman, offensive tackle, guard, wherever you're going to put him. I always consider him top quality. So I really would love to see him here with the Bears. I think he's significant. He would significantly upgrade our O-line, but he's with Buffalo now.
Yeah.
And I think, I just really think they got a nice one there, man. That's a nice piece to fill that hole. What do you think, Shawn?
Hey, Shawn, can I ask Shawn?
What's up, buddy?
Was Buffalo a top 5? They were like top 5 defense last year, right, boys?
Hey, at times I think they were.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think they dropped off last season a little bit. Season before top 5, but again, we took Tremaine, and I think they felt that a little bit last year. I'm gonna see what I can find out for you. Go ahead, Shawn.
Thanks, man. I would be surprised if they were in the top 20. The overhaul that they have this year, man, it's crazy.
Go ahead, Shawn.
I think ever since Brian Daboll left, they're done. Right? He was the guy that everyone keeps forgetting. Coaching matters. All right, you're gonna have to get a good offensive mind that Josh Allen buys into. All right, Josh Allen his career was saved by Brian Daboll. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but man, he was about to get run out of town in Buffalo after his rookie season. They're talking bust. They're talking get him out of here. Bills Mafia don't play. Their fan base is very, very blunt about their opinion. And Brian Daboll came in, and all of a sudden, this guy's an MVP candidate. Brian Daboll leaves. Well, you know what? Now they're having problems, and you to replace a good offensive play caller like that, it's going to be tough. And does Josh Allen buy into it? Does Josh Allen fit into it? Does this new offensive coordinator, does he? That was my. Pardon me. Does you know what I mean? There's a lot of factors that you got a new coach, new philosophy, new thing. Josh Allen's not his guy. I personally think that the window for the Buffalo Bills is closed.
I've said that for a minute. And here's another piece to layer onto that, Brandon. I'll give it to you here in a second. But there's a story, and I think I spoke to this on the show once before, that Leslie Frazier ran into issues with McDermott about play calling. He basically tried to override what Leslie was doing. I mean, this is pretty much year after year for the past 5 years or so, in the top 10 at least in defense. And I just felt like, why would you be questioning how this guy is calling the plays? And he more or less stepped down and wouldn't come back because of it. I think McDermott is probably, I don't know what hand he's having in the decisions that are getting made in the front office, but if they don't get back to at least the AFC Championship, I think he's pretty culpable for the letdown. But did you want to speak to that, Brandon?
No, I got a cramp right now. I'm gonna go off screen. I just did legs today, man. This is embarrassing.
All right, man.
This is bad. I'm in an ice cold freaking garage. This ain't helping either.
All right, come back when you're ready, man. Hey,
I did squats today too, man. I ended up doing my last set was 305 for 10. So we're good.
All right. I tell you,
stretch. To answer Brandon's question, even though he's off camera, Bills were, I believe, 9th in the league last year in defense, which is pretty good. Bears were 12th. I'm kind of surprised by either one of those statuses, and I expect them to flip next season. But hey,
well, don't forget we didn't have Montez Sweat the whole season, so
no, we did not.
the
All
last
the more
6 weeks,
reason for that
we
flip.
all know who the number one defense was in the last 6 weeks of the year. So,
That's it.
it's definitely going to flip. This is going to be, man. We've said it ad nauseum, but this draft is going to speak volumes. I mean, we still can get an edge rusher in free agency if we don't get one in the draft with the 9th pick, which I don't think we will. But if we trade back, we might. Who knows? We'll see. But this defense is I've said it on my show. I've said it here. This is a playoff defense, not a Super Bowl ready defense yet, but a playoff defense. Easily a playoff defense. Offense just got to catch up.
Well, we're speaking about Bills. Just really quick, man. Diggs, he signed a 1-year deal, and they're going to let him hit free agency next year. So they say.
Mhm.
Now, if he comes here and he shows out, I mean, he goes to not Buffalo, but Houston and shows out, I could see him, getting an extension and down there in Houston, especially if they get there, get close, and not able to fully, get that whole thing, get the Lombardi, and he's a big part of what they do. I think he'll get an extension. Just had to throw that out there, kids. You look like you want to say something.
No, Bishop. Bishop was in our off-screen chat. He says the Buffalo Bills are number 4. I got 9, so maybe I got my wires crossed, or he did. Let's just we'll fight later on.
All right,
Well, you had a dime.
Let's just look. They was in the top 10 regardless. So either way,
they were.
All right, let's talk about some interesting stuff that's going on. As of right now, Jaden Daniels is not scheduled for a visit here in Chicago, and I know this is going to turn into a spicy conversation, and it should, because it's going to be pretty. No, I ain't going to be doing nothing zesty about my conversation, Jack. You on your own, but no, I mean, it's controversial for a lot of people, because a lot of people would say, some people would say, you know what, that's good. We're supposed to draft Caleb anyway, and we don't need to have him in for a visit. And then others would say, that's not part of doing due diligence. Why hasn't he come in? And why are you so tunnel vision on this quarterback without doing due diligence with these other guys out here? But Kedz, let's go ahead and let you start that up.
I would probably be that guy who says that stuff. That would be me. I would be that guy. So you do deal. In order to not get chastised for a slight mistake down the road, you just do the due diligence. This way you can say, hey, look, we clearly looked at all these guys. We got all the information we needed. We zeroed in on the guy we thought was the best guy, and that was it. I'm going under the auspice that that's where they are anyways, but I would still you want to be able to rely on that due diligence in case of a mistake down the road. You don't want to have Mitch Trubisky Toyota Camry, like I'm butchering the vehicle, but you don't want to have car stories. Like, that's what you're trying to avoid here. Avoid the car stories. Have a sit down with these guys, even if it's just you. If you know what I mean. Even if you don't expect to draft him, you're zeroed in on somebody. Go meet with them, understand them, watch them. Hopefully they got what they needed. Hopefully Ryan Poles has got what he needed strictly out of tape, but I still heavily suggest you do your due diligence. Meet with these kids. Get an understanding who they are. Bishop, what do you think?
Okay. As much as I would say I would do my due diligence, it's clear that he's been following this young man since he took over the job as the GM. He sees him as the second coming to the young man that he had the privy of scouting when he was at Kansas City. And he's locked and loaded on this young man. So he's going to weigh his career on this young man, because this is a career move right here. So with that being said, if we're asking the question if this young man is signed, sealed, and delivered, like my buddy Stewart out in Florida said, does a fat baby love cake? Yes, it does. So therefore, hey, it's apparent this is going to be who he's going to be, that number 1 pick for us. Let's move forward. Let's see what it be. Tim Bears, what you think, brother?
Well, saying, getting back to what you guys were just talking about, like barring that weightlifting analogy, You know, it don't matter if we go to a gym in California, you go to a gym in New York, you go to a gym in Chicago. Them 45 plates are all the same. So, you know what I'm saying? And if you could do that 300 there, you could do that 300 anywhere. So, you know, him not really kind of going through the same basic format or workout or regimen that we think he should probably do, like, that's just kind of where I am with it, man. I'm like, hey, like I said, all things can't be equal. Like, you guys can't lift 300 pounds and I lift 150 pounds and that all be equal. But that's what people tell us these days. So I'm like, all right, all good. Because I'm like, I watched the kid go from ASU to Alabama. I mean, go to LSU, play against the toughest competition. And like I said, even like I went back and looked at it like now against Alabama. He until he got his bell knocked out, he was giving them problems. So I'm like, but everybody grade differently. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is when you're in school. Sometimes the teacher, you might get some answers wrong on the math test, but because you could show how you got to the problem, she might grade the test differently. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I kind of just think he should have done some due diligence, but from what I heard, it wasn't all peaches and cream with his meeting with the Bears at the combine. So, but I think, like you said, Poles got his guy. For what that's worth, you know, his evaluation, you know, it is what it is. But Big Tracks, you can take it from there.
I'd like them to kick the tires on Jaden. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big, you know, USC Caleb guy, but I'm interested in I at least a dinner or something, a face to face. I don't know what it would look like. You know, I don't know how they get all this together, but I definitely, you know, I'm interested in that, especially depending on what kind of freaking haul you could get, man. I mean, there's so many, like we were talking about the other day, you know, 2 holes, 1 swing. I think there's more than 2 holes with the 1 swing. I think there's a bunch of holes that we could fit. And if this guy just comes off the charts at you and he's just as respectful at the dinner table and says all the right things and all of this, and then, you know, you get into all of his athleticism and whatever. I mean, really, I don't think you have to set the world on fire to be our quarterback. I think you just have to not make a bunch of errors and just keep us in the game. Our defense is going to win the ball games, I think. But I honestly, I wouldn't mind taking a look at him for sure.
Shawn?
Mr. Sierra.
It's about doing your due diligence. Bottom line. All right. You have to, even if it is a waste of your time, even if you just have to do your due diligence. All right. It doesn't matter if people think, you know, the decision was made already. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was. Who knows? But it's about being thorough. Okay. Because there's a lot of things that happen that come back around. Okay. So do you think that the Pittsburgh Steelers did their due diligence on Justin Fields when, you know, back then when he was coming out? Probably. All right. And these are the things you go back on. What did you see when he was coming out? And what did you see later on down the line? Because you never know, paths can cross right out of college and come down a couple of years down the road. It's just doing your due diligence. And now, so, you know, I'd like Jaden Daniels. All right. I think you definitely need to do your due diligence on him, even if you are set on Caleb. It's just because you just never know how crazy. We don't know. What if there's an injury? What if something happens? What if, you know what I mean? You know, football is a collision sport. I don't know if you guys realize people get knocked out, people get concussions, people get broken legs, people get a whole bunch of different things. Okay.
Good point.
And you now you don't do your due diligence. Well, guess what? You're gonna ask another team to give you, you know, no one else is gonna help you. You need to do it when you have the chance. So when it's time, if necessary, you go back and you say, okay, what did you like about him? What did you like about him? Okay, boom, here he is. It's just being thorough. That's all. The great ones are.
So, all right. Hey, Chris, let's take a quick station ID, and when we bring it back to the other side of this, man, this conversation is about to get a little thicker. I'm gonna throw it up.
The best Chicago Bears content anywhere. Pre-game, 1 hour prior to kickoff, and Nomad at night, post-game, and every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Central on all the most popular streaming platforms. And only on the Nomad Network.
That's right, you guys, man. We appreciate all of the great gratitude, man. Everybody being, just we appreciate the support, man. Everybody hit the like button, pound that thing right now, man. We need the support. We over here building along with Sports Zone Chicago and Chicago Sports Podcast, man. We're building, man, and we need all the support that we can get our hands on. But we need you to use your hands and hit that like and subscribe, man, and hit that notification bell. Do that for us, man, so you can see these young podcasts really get out there into the ether and really take off like we need to, man. So do us a favor and do due diligence for us and hit that like and hit that subscribe button for us, man. We will really, really appreciate that, you guys. We're gonna keep building. Hey, but listen, Brandon, you had something that you wanted to speak to about Mahomes.
Yeah, you guys' recall is a lot better than mine. I had my bell rung. I don't know if you guys could tell, I had my bell rung quite a few times when I played football on and off the field. But back when they were courting Mahomes, was that the only quarterback that they were looking at? Is this something that Ryan might be kind of tapping into? Do you guys know? Because he was a director of player personnel there with the Chiefs. Or did they look at other quarterbacks?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't have the answer to. I would not know. I could not.
They did due diligence on more than one quarterback, but they were clearly locked in on Mahomes from the beginning.
So Kansas City was much further back, right? They had to trade up into the first to get access to Patrick Mahomes. So they looked at Trubisky. They looked at Trubisky. This is sort of what wound up bringing Matt Nagy here. They looked at Deshaun Watson and they looked at Pat Mahomes and decided Pat Mahomes was the guy and told him they were coming after him. Strangely, so did Pace on our side. Pace sat with Mahomes. He sat with Trubisky and decided not to meet with Deshaun. And that's basically how that went.
Let's not forget Deshaun Kaiser was in that draft too.
Yeah.
You are right. Deshaun Kaiser was in that draft, and I believe all of those teams looked at both of those teams looked at Deshaun Kaiser. Deshaun Watson was not interviewed by Ryan Pace. That much I can say.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say.
Kaiser was from Notre Dame.
Yes.
Yeah. All I can say to this whole conversation is, nothing is a done deal until it's a done deal. And everybody in the chat, you be quiet talking about it, no man. They're gonna pick Caleb. Man, shut up. And we're going to talk about it anyway, whether you like it or not. Shut your ass up. And so I just wanted to speak to that. But real quick, man, let's throw some spice into this conversation. Because, I keep going back to this whole situation about what Jalen Johnson spoke to about, the whole statement about, we're going to welcome him, but he can't bring that Hollywood stuff out here, man. He's going to have to prove himself, blah, 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 all that. And so word got to me that at his pro day, Jamie Foxx and other Hollywood celebrities were there at the dinner. And that got to me, that's what's being said.
In Chicago?
No, when they were out in
pro day.
When they went to LA. Okay.
So I'll just shut up and let you guys respond to that. Go ahead, kid.
Yo, I got nothing on this. If we're talking Hollywood folks and Hollywood influence, I would like to think that Jalen Johnson is that's going to be my new T-shirt, guys. I'm going to wear Jalen Johnson is right T-shirt moving forward. Hashtag Jalen Johnson is right. Buy it at your local retailers. Bishop.
I guess my question is, why? What's the big reason to have them there? I don't get it. I really don't. But either way, I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. And this is clearly who Poles wants. This is who he's been locked in on. Do I agree with it? Not 100%, only because I believe in doing your due diligence. But again, this is who he's locked in on. So I don't have much to say about it other than don't miss. Tim Bears to you, brother.
Yeah. Well, that's what the inside word is. It's Jamie Foxx, Quavo, a few other little people. It's a private club, so you put that in quotation marks and look at that for how you want it being a private club.
More ways than one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So Hey man, it's like a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when you go to your favorite restaurant, and sometimes, you know, when you go to your favorite restaurant, you actually meet the head chef. And the head chef come out there, come out, shake hands with you, and you come out there and you say, man, that meal was super dope. I liked it, whole nine. And then sometimes the restaurant say, hey, the head chef say, well, you know, I need some money or I need something, or he might get in an argument with the manager and they say, well, we got a new head chef. And then you say, well, hey, and you know, Alberto ain't here no more. The old chef, what happened to him? Well, we got rid of him. We got a new chef. So you might, hey, if that food don't come out the same, hey, you already know what it is. So you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna try to put the 5 on the 10. I just let it just be what it be. You know, my everybody give Poles a lot of credit. To me, some of these moves just look kind of basic from his style. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna reserve the right to let everybody try the new restaurant. Give Caleb his opportunity to do some cooking. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever seen that episode of the Cosby Show where he asked him to go get them hamburgers, and he went back and he brought him back a hamburger, and the waiter had to be like, I know what y'all want. Y'all want some burgers like at the fast food joint. Hey, this food look like fast food to me, but I let everybody else have their opinion. I'm gonna give him his opportunity, but I'm a little bit skeptical on it myself, just because the math don't always seem to me. But it is what it is. What about you, Mr. Trax?
Mr. Trax is hungry right now, man. I feel like I'm at the Food Network. We could do that, man. Nomad, I know you're gonna tap into some other stuff, bro, but this could be it, bro.
We actually already did that, to be honest with you. Maybe we'll come back and have a new MF in the kitchen.
How did it go?
Yeah,
it actually went very well.
We're gonna reapproach that, man. But
it went very well.
Okay.
Yeah, Shawn, what you think about the whole? Or do you still want to speak about that, Brandon?
All I heard was food, brother. I'm getting hungry, so let's see what Shawn's got to say. I'm sorry, I'm sidetracked.
You're gonna get much over there. Shawn, I can see his face.
Shawn,
are you still fasting, bro? You look good, bro.
No, I'm not. Who cares? I don't really care. I don't really care if Jamie Foxx was there. Why should he have been there? No, but he has no bearing on Caleb, on his performance, on whether or not they like him, on his tape, on his anything. He's got no bearing. So it's for me, it's a moot point. It's irrelevant.
Well, the only reason I bring it up is because we need stuff to talk about, and we do podcasts, and sometimes you have contrary points of view than the next person, and it's good to have conversations around that. Do I think that we are still drafting Caleb Williams 100%? I think we will, fingernails and all. Doesn't matter. I think Ryan Post has had his mind made up for a long time. So everybody in the chat running their mouths about no man, please. Oh, you just take a time out for a minute. If you don't like what we're talking about, come back later. But Lord, keep all that nonsense and negative energy to yourself, man. Jesus, we're gonna talk about stuff that ain't gonna align with you all the time. So just get used to it. But here's a quick question I wanted to ask, guys. Since Ryan Post has done this teardown, do you think he's made the right moves so far in rebuilding the foundation? And has he done it fast enough, kid? Do you think he's making the right moves?
Bro, I reserve judgment, bro. Like I'm being a nice guy at this present time.
Why?
Why be nice? Be real,
Why?
bro. That's what people want to hear.
Put it out there. Put it out there.
Hey, he don't got to, Bishop. Let him do what he wants.
That's a whole show, and I'm saving that show for about a year from today. From a year from today, we'll have that show, and I'll explain why. As for now, I need these moves to be the right moves. That's for my, I'm being so real now. Like, for my own mental health with respect to this team that I love, bro, I need these moves to be the right moves. All of them, including zeroing in on the quarterback, etc. So here's
Ricky Leahy.
Here's Ricky Leahy's in the building. Yo, Canada represent. I love it.
Oh, he needs bubbles.
That's all we're missing, dog. That's all we're missing. So, yo, you know what? Like, I'm connected to them guys, man, on some Canadian stuff. Corey, Corey's always rapping on the show. Corey used to, my boy used to make his beats. Anyhow, Trailer Park Boys shout out. Look, my problem with everything is this, and this is why I harp on due diligence. Right now, if this guy's completely zeroed in on a quarterback being Caleb Williams, my question to everybody is, when do you think Ryan Poles was sold on Caleb Williams as the next quarterback for the Chicago Bears? When? Time frame. I'll throw that around to everybody.
Yeah, but now we changed the question because don't change the question. Nomad asked the question, and now we're changing it. Then we all didn't get to answer the question.
Sorry, I'm gonna come back to Nomad's original question with the answer to this question is why I'm asking it, and I'll just cut to the chase, right? So me cutting to the chase, I'm pretty sure that if he was originally zeroed in on Caleb Williams, different moves should have been made, and I'm a little bit personally irked by that. Personally, I think if you were zeroed in on Caleb Williams, you dump Justin week one of the offseason and you make your moves. That's me. It would have saved everybody a lot of heartache, a lot of bickering back and forth, civil war within Bears fandom. All of that would be out the window if he just came out early and said, yo, this guy's the next guy. Sorry, Justin, see you later. I'm getting this guy. You can and you can reserve the I'm getting this guy case scenario because obviously, the NFL wants to build suspense around the pick. But that's me. I think other moves could have been made. Additional capital could have been gained earlier from a Justin Fields trade. These are the little problems that I have.
I take that to say you don't like how it's gone so far.
I do and I don't. Like, I would like it to have gone differently. I would have liked everybody to have avoided a lot of heartache, and I think Ryan Poles controlled all of that. And I mean that for the Bears fans out there across the board. But I still have faith in what he's done. I do. I think what he's done can turn into a Super Bowl caliber case scenario for us moving forward. So in a year from now, ask me the same question. I hope to God I have the exact same answer.
Go ahead, Bishop.
Okay. I kind of lost track of what the question was. Nomad, can you repeat the question for me, please?
How
my point
after the teardown, how do you feel about the rebuild of the foundation, and has it gone fast enough? Do you like the moves he's made, and is he moving fast enough to rebuild it?
Okay. First and foremost, with regard to the time frame of a teardown, we first have to have a blueprint of what a true teardown looks like with regard to saying whether or not there's a particular time frame. I think the time frame has changed because of pressures from the media, pressures from fans, with regard to how he approached it. He started out being transparent with regard to what he planned on doing, and he did state that this was not going to be something done overnight. I get it. But now it seems like he's trying to kind of supersede that and speed up the process, in my opinion, because a true teardown and a rebuild, and this is not defending the previous quarterback in Justin Fields. This is a sense, because I was critical of him as well last season. Many times I felt that there was a lot of areas in his game that he needed to improve upon. But with that being said, if you're truly building a team, then you keep what you have in place and continue to build the foundation and fill the necessary holes first and foremost, and add your depth so that when you do get ready to make that significant move, whether it's with the current quarterback or one you choose to draft or one that happens to come up that has had an amazing career, and you can take a stab and go get that person to plug into that key position for you. I would have liked to have seen that. So I'm 50-50 with him on it. I see where some moves that he's made has been good moves. And then there's some questionable moves, and I'm going to give him a bit of grace because I know he's new in this particular role. you know, and he came to an organization that was completely clueless on what they were doing, you know. So on top of that, there's still some proof in the pudding for me, and I do like Jello pudding, and I need to see the fact that can you develop on one particular side of the football? That's going to really be the telltale. That's why I wasn't so keen on him going out to go get another rookie quarterback to insert into and recycle what we've been doing all along. You know, if you're going to do that, then keep your same sacrificial lamb that you basically threw to the wolves the previous 2 years and let him go at it again this year. And if you really wanted that guy that you're going to get, still go get that guy and let that guy sit and learn. But once again, you're repeating a cycle that has been tumultuous for this organization.
I knew that was going to trigger the Bishop. I knew it was going to trigger him, man. I see the veins coming out of his head when he's expressing.
Either way, man, I'm a pass off to Tim Bears, man, but like I'm 50-50 with it, man, and I just hate to see that this young man is coming to the same situation that we've been constantly repeating time and time again.
I get it.
Tim Bears to you, brother.
Yeah, well, hey, man, like I said, man, it's all good. Hey, my evaluation of polls right now seem like everybody come from a little bit of background and doing a little bit of manual labor at some time. And so, you know, we got the frame of the house, and then we got sometimes where you can just demolish the house. And it looked like he was kind of halfway with a little bit of both. And anybody who kind of ever seen a house go ahead. Oh. Well, anybody who's ever seen that, go ahead. You go ahead. We can serve invited. Go back.
I like how you put that, how you're framing that, because you can't start out rehabbing a house and then first you can't start a tear down and decide in the middle of a tear down, okay, well, I'm just going to rehab. Bro, what are you doing?
Well, we'll come back around. We'll come back around to it, man. Let's let him finish right quick. We'll come back.
Well, yeah. So like I was saying, you know, the whole thing is, to me, all right, the quarterback is the foundation of the house. He's the foundation of the team. So you gave the impression that we was doing this rebuild, and all right, if you the contractor, I hire you, the home inspector, to go through the house and tell me what goes and what stays. All right, boom, you go through the entire house and you say, well, like the foundation is good, the frame is good, we're gonna have to gut it, clean out, put new plumbing in, wow, this, that, and the other. Now we halfway done. Anybody know contracting, landscape, and all that kind of stuff? We at 75% completion, and now you say because your schematics is off. Now you say, yo, know what? I'm gonna go ahead and the foundation is bad in the house. Bruh, that's expensive to go back and redo the foundation of the house and keep the frame up. And it may not be expensive as far as financially, but psychologically, mentally, and a lot of different other ways. So that's my whole point of it. You know what I'm saying? I just think like it's easy to tear down. You could take like the Philadelphia 76ers, for example. It's real easy to just tank until we get the top player that we want. All right, you got the top player that you want. But now put in the other pieces, the other side pieces around that player, bringing in the James Harden, bringing in the other pieces, having Joel Embiid stay healthy. All those different things come along with it. So that's really where I kind of just like, yo, like I said, I'm just on a wait and see approach with polls. No more product is going out on credit. Man, everything is cash on delivery. When we make that drop, we want them briefcases. And so ain't no more of this just, oh yeah, we just sending it out and you just when you get yours, we get ours. Nah, bro. Nah. Sosa want that stuff now like it's on, you know what I'm saying? We ain't playing no more. So I gotta see it. I gotta see it first. And that's just how I feel about it. Like, man, I'm not really like, to me right now, to tear down as far as where we at, I'm gonna give it probably a B minus.
How about
B minus, maybe C plus.
Before you go, Brandon, man, shout out to Tim Bears for those analogies, man. This dude comes with some stuff that I hadn't even considered. but I like them, man. It's a pretty far out analogies, man. But I get what you're saying, man. But go ahead, B.
I'm glad he took a break on the food and he got to home improvements. Thank you. I don't know how much. I got like
Big
some
Sexy.
probiotic
Big Sexy, you
gummy
hungry?
bears and
You
stuff
went from
last
Guy
night.
Fieri to Tim Allen. Well done, sir. Well done.
Good job, man. Good job. Hey, no, I think when he threw us a curveball when Carolina dropped that first round pick in our laps. I think that's what changed the whole dynamic of the home improvement there. If that wouldn't have happened, we probably would still be rolling with the original blueprints, but he made an adjustment. I do like the fact that this guy, he adapts on the fly. He's not hard-headed in the sense that, okay, well, I said I'm going to do it this way. I see leaks in the foundation or we need an adjustment. It's going to take a little bit longer, but in the long run, I feel like we're going to be in a better situation. And I feel like that only came about with that Carolina pick. Had we not got that Carolina pick in the first round, I think Justin is still our quarterback to this day. Outside of that, I like what he's doing. A lot of people say he's not really taking a serious approach. Him and Ian aren't taking a serious approach to the offensive line. But to this day, through year 3, I count at least 11 different signings of offensive linemen. Injuries and all that, depending on how those guys pan out, I think he has taken a good approach to it. So I like the way it's going. It's not perfect. I don't know if anyone ever will be perfect. I do know in his press conference, he got a little frustrated because he came to Kansas City basically, doing the same thing, and people got a little frustrated over there. And he sees that happening in Chicago. So I guess it's normal for this whole, thing to transpire in the fandom, so.
Go ahead, Shawn.
No, I don't like the way it's going. I think the fact that, there's still holes we need to fill, and we could have filled those holes. All right. It's the fact of the matter is that
Full time.
you had you had people talk about, a gift that was given to us. Yeah, it was. I mean, you saw what we did last year. All right, we got 3 starters out of that trade. All right, what if we get 3 starters out of this trade as well, and possibly more because of the value that this young man has to other teams. So what if we get 4 starters or 5 starters? That literally fills up every single deficiency we have. Whether it's the edge opposite Sweat, we could get one there. All right, whether it's an offense, whether it's a center, there's another one there. The only other deficiency we may have, I wouldn't even say it's a deficiency. I just say it's an upgrade, and that's left tackle. Okay, we could have had all those things and then depth. So again, I still trust him. I don't like the move he made. All right, because and he even talked about it when he said it was the timeline. Well, if you trusted this guy, if you believed in this guy, okay, don't worry about the money. You have the money. You can restructure deals. The cap's going up. Okay. But you have everybody else on rookie deals and everybody else is slotted, which makes it easier to say, okay, well, here's what we can offer Justin. I also take a step back and realize the NFL is built for entertainment.
It's a copycat league.
So it's built for entertainment. And so had he done that, there's really not a lot to be talked about. The NFL wants to stay in the forefront every single day of the year. And if Ryan Poles, excuse me, I forgot him. If Ryan Poles had said, okay, we're taking Caleb, blah, 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 boom. Well, guess what? Think of all the shows think of the lack of material. Think of the divide. You think they give a damn about the divide for the fan base? No, they don't give a shit. They just want to know, are you buying our PSLs? Okay, good. That's all they care about. They don't care about us. So let's not even bring that into it. No one cares. They don't care. What they're part of. They're part of the NFL. The NFL is built on entertainment. All right. They already own Sunday. They already own Monday night. They're taking over Thursday. So you know what I mean? Like they own days of the week. They want not just days of the week. They wanted to be in the forefront of everybody. So, maybe he knew it a long time ago, and he probably should have done that for Justin Fields. He should have if that's what he wanted. But again, it would have been a lot less. The NFL would not be talked about. Think of every single show, every single podcast, every single talk show, every single sports station talking about this. They're talking about the NFL. And what does the NFL want you to do? Want you to talk about them, because now you're excited to go to the draft. Now you're excited to see training camp. Now they got us by the short and curlies, and the NFL has done another phenomenal job of marketing and of making a big exhibition or a big to do about really nothing.
So really quickly, man, I will answer my own question this way, and I insist on just not being so overly judgmental about Pose. It's his virtues. Is his organization to run? Do I absolutely agree with everything that's happened? No, but I trust that he's doing the thing the right way and we're on the right path. I'm just going to trust that blindly, and I got my reasons for doing that. I think it's fair. Everybody's feelings and stances on it is very fair, man. It's very fair for everybody to feel the way they feel, and I don't blame anybody for that. I would just say that, I do like the moves that he's made, like previously to the one he just made this offseason, and we have improved. We have seen improvement. What's going to happen in the future, I'm just going to reserve my judgment until see the final product. He's got to cook this stuff. Flus has got to cook it. What's been presented, man, he gave him the ingredients on what he think was a winning strategy, what he thought was a winning strategy, and we're going to see at the end of the day exactly if he was exactly right. He could be. Absolutely could be, but I'll reserve being overly judgmental about it until we see the final results. But let me ask you guys another question. And Kedz, I just want to know how you would feel about this. Say, for instance, we're going to make the number one pick, right? We know we're going to get a quarterback, Caleb Williams likely. Let's say, for instance, they get down to about pick 3 or 4, and Marvin Harrison doesn't come off the board. Would you feel okay if the Bears went into next year's draft capital to move back in there to grab him?
Yeah. Well, let me rephrase and say they still have the 9th pick. They would just select him with the 9th pick. That would be my thoughts, right? If he falls to them at 9, you grab him at 9. But then, yes, you would likely want to trade back into this draft, for another player, likely that DE or offensive tackle that you're really looking to add to your roster. Mind you, they can also get those bodies in by way of free agency too. So if Marvin's there, I don't see why they wouldn't take a shot. But that's just me. Keith, what do you think, bro?
This is a tough one because I actually have it's a 1 and 1A with regard to that position. I'm a big fan of Rome Aduzier myself, and I do like Marvin Harrison Jr. I understand the pedigree that is associated with him. There's a couple things that I like about Rome and that I've watched. And mind you, now I'm an Ohio State fan, so I get a chance I can be a little more critical of him because granted, he didn't have the best quarterback this past season, but my question on MHJ is at the point of attack with regard to 50-50 balls. That's my biggest concern. Can he run routes? Absolutely. I think Rome's body and the way he plays the game, but if he's available, and that's who they want, absolutely. Go get him. Go get him.
Go ahead,
Bears, what you think, brother?
Yeah, well, like we said, man, like I just laid out a few minutes ago, like once you start spending the money and you want to do about face, hey, man, it's all systems go. And just getting back to what I said before, I just say, you got to be minus, but a 4.0 and a 3.0 is different grades. So, you know what I'm saying? If you saying I'm striving to be summa cum laude and be number one in the class, a B ain't gonna do it. But if you say, hey, I just want to pass this class and get this college and get some money and you know, and look good, hey, that B minus will rock with you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at this point, if you want to mortgage some future for now, because I'm like, whatever you do for Caleb, man, go all in. We passed like Big Daddy said, man, back in the day, ain't no half stepping. If you gonna rock with him, let's rock all the way, because he ain't got no excuses and I ain't giving none. So if that's how you gonna do it, go all out, brother. Go all out, straight GW. You could go all out, cause I'm not cutting no slack. So if you want to mortgage something from next year, get MHJ, a Doomsday, or anybody, do it. Cause when at the end of the day, just like now, like RG3 said, if everybody feels so great, man, go ahead and extend Flus now. Go ahead and don't play with it. Extend Flus now. You so confident your experiment, your recipe gonna work. Go ahead and rock it and push it all the way out. But you ain't sure about it, and your actions speak louder than your words. So I'm just like, man, like Bane told Batman, let's not stand on ceremony, bro. Let's rock and roll. You and I brought you down here to rock. So let's go and get cooking. So go ahead, SuperBack.
Yeah, I jump up and I agree. You know what? Go all in on him. Go all in for him. Why not? All right. You know, and if you do go in on him, then don't ask for any quarter, because this is the guy that you believe is the future. This is the guy this is generational. This is whatever, because it's so easy. I know Andre said, what about, you know, you guys have comments about certain things, but then you don't want to take accountability for your own thing. Right? You're saying that this guy's generational, but give him time. No, right. If he's generational, no. He's stepping into a phenomenal situation. He's stepping in. If that happens, he's stepping into DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay, with an upgraded offensive line, with an upgraded running back room, with Cole Kmet and the other tight end they just signed. You're stepping into a phenomenal situation. So don't ask me to give you time. You know what I'm saying? Like we're a couple of plays away, all right, from 8, 9, or 10 victories last year. We need to be minimum floor is 9. We got to come out with 9. Otherwise, there's no reason to take, you know what I mean, for us to take a step back. So, no, if he's there, go get him. Go get him. Someone said, you know, trade your 9th and next year 2nd. Go get him. Go get him, because now there's literally no excuses. There's no excuses, okay, because the defense is well on its way to being a Super Bowl defense. The offense is what needed to catch up. Okay? The offense is what needed to catch up. Man, you start adding these pieces, wow. Well, if you want to give them slack, well, then you should, you know, if you want to win now, well, then guess what? You should have just kept the quarterback, because that quarterback you had made every throw. He just needed coaching. All right? Because there's not one throw that any quarterback in the NFL can make that our previous quarterback, Justin Fields, couldn't make. He just wasn't consistent. And that comes with coaching. So, you know, you did the right thing by getting a developer of quarterbacks and Shane Waldron. Great job. But, you know, again, I think Ten Bear, you said it right. Whether it's an A+ or a B, they're both good, but one's a hell of a lot better than the other. So, you know, you could still go get a job and be a multimillionaire getting a B. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to be an A+ student to be a multimillionaire and make tons of money, have a beautiful house and a wife and kids and the whole 9. I think that's where he messed up. That's why I didn't like it. But if it comes out to pass where it ends up, he goes and gets this quarterback who is, you know, generational, and it does work out, then you know what? We're all happy because we're Bear fans. I just didn't like the way he did it.
Thanks.
Okay, how about this, man? Because I'm gonna answer my own question and then switch to the this next question I have, and I only got a couple more for you guys. I think some of you guys are right. You push the chips.
Smith?
You push the chips in the middle of the table, because why? You want that quarterback to have every opportunity to succeed as possible. If you think a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr., for instance, I just use him for, you know, just for the sake of conversation. You think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a guy that gives that guy a better opportunity, then you do it. for the sake of that quarterback, because you want to give him every opportunity to succeed in his first year. It's going to be rough on him, and he's going to have, depending on what they do here at draft time, it's an injury or two away from him being in the struggle. But you want to see the guy succeed. We all Bears fans, and I just want to see if that opportunity presents itself. Would they do that? I'd be all for it. Push them chips into the middle of the damn table and go get the guy you think gives this dude the best chance to succeed. That's what I think you do. But the next question here is, kids, is say, for instance, Flus and Poles were locked into the draft room by themselves. And not by themselves, but they were the last two left with the decision to make this call. Let's just say at number 9, right? They're in a kind of at an impasse about what player to pick at that spot. Given, I know my answer to this, but I'm asking you guys, who do you think wins that little struggle, that little tug of war on which player to draft and why?
I think ultimately Ryan Poles wins the struggle. That's his job. Right, like if he doesn't get the right groceries, he's the chef that gets fired. Flus has a different job, right? His job is to do stuff with the groceries. I don't know, bad analogy. Sorry, 10 Bears is the analogy guy. Anyhow, in any event, man, I don't know. I would say Poles would be the end all be all there. Flus is going to harp up if this is a defensive versus offensive situation. I don't think they would argue over which defensive player is better, right? I think that's sort of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. There, they pick or choose. But if it's offense versus defense, Poles kind of has to be the guy to win because Flus will be leaning towards defense naturally. I'll toss that up to Keith.
It's as simple as this, man. Flus is going to be G Money in this picture, in this movie.
Oh, we went to New Jack City, y'all. Framing it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
This is Analogy Day. It's Analogy Friday. Continue.
Flus is G Money. Bottom line, especially, and this is Flus is going to be G Money. If it fails, Ryan Poles is going to be Nino Brown if it's a success. It's just that simple. What he's done is he insulated himself and made sure, should there be anything less than the playoffs, Flus is out the door, and he already has his new coach in Shane Waldron already in the building. And that guy's been working with his quarterback for an entire year. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to toss to the 10 Bears.
Yeah, kind of the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he's kind of from what I gather from just watching them in their body language. I think at 9, I think that's where the split going. They're going down the same street, and then they get that little fork in the road. And I think at 9, I think Flus knows he need one more impact defensive player on this defense to finish it off, to put the finishing touches on it. Maybe 2, maybe another interior, but definitely a pass rusher. I'm thinking Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, or either Latu, one of them 3, or he could take a wide receiver. So that's what we're saying. We kind of at a midway point. And you choosing one route over the other, I don't know. One of them he might concede and might figure he got enough, enough on one side of the ball or enough on one side of the ball. That's the whole premise of everything. It's just like if the goal was to be special, it was only one way for us to be special. Now the goal for us right now is we just looking at being good. And bro, there's a lot of good teams out there. Everybody, I don't really drink Kool-Aid no more, so I'm kind of like,
you think you win that tug of war if they're in that room on which who wins that tug of war between those two about which player to get?
Probably Flus, because like you said, if Flus jumps up on the table for one of them 3 defenders or somebody else, Poles already, because we know Poles movement. Poles done showed you his movement. Just like when they watched Karate Kid, they knew Daniel San was gonna go crane style at some point. We done seen Poles little movement, and we know he didn't put Flus out there on the, like you said, isolate him by himself. Like, all right, because he got infrastructure behind Flus. If it don't work out, he could easily just put Waldron and Kerry Joseph, and he got that behind him. I don't know if he would elect and just put Washington. We know Washington ain't gonna be head coach next year, so you could read the writing on the wall, man. It ain't hard to figure out. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna defer to Flus. Like, I gave you everything you need. If it don't come through, and like you said, you banking on somebody, and we already know. But that's it. What about you, Shawn?
Poles wins. All right, he's the GM. All right, he's the GM. All right, I make the decisions. I buy the groceries. You cook the dinner. All right, and bottom line, you know, I think that he's done a lot for the defense. I think if he wanted a wide receiver and Poles wanted and Flus wanted a defensive guy, I think he may go wide receiver. He's done a lot. He's invested a lot of capital, a lot of assets into the defense. He's added some more offense this offseason. But man, think of the thing with Sweat. Think of the 2 linebackers. All right, think of the free safety. All right, he's added a lot. All right, think of the nose scars. I can't even think of Billings. All right, Billings, DeMarcus Walker, all these guys he's added, all the resources he's added to that defense. Now get this offense up. Get this offense up to the point where, all right, there's literally you can literally double team nobody. You gotta play it straight up, because as soon as somebody shades or leans or double teams this wide receiver, then this wide receiver kills you. Kind of like the greatest show on turf. Like, you're gonna double team Isaac Bruce. Okay, cool. Torrey Holt got you. You're gonna double team Torrey Holt. Well, Isaac Bruce got you. Okay, or Isaac Keene. Just when you think you want to get crazy and get stupid and try and shade both of those guys, then Isaac Keene is gonna get you. And if you do, guess what? Then Marshall Faulk will get you. All right, it's get to the point where there's literally no way that a defense can cheat. Got to play honest, because multiple weapons can win a game for you.
So I'm gonna answer my own question. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna answer it this way. It's gonna be much like what Tim Bears had to say. I think if it's at an impasse and there's a struggle about which player to now, you probably both agree either one of these guys will help us tremendously. There will probably be no doubt about that. But which guy to get, I think, should ultimately, in a situation like that, fall to the coach. Why? It's because he's got to cook the meal. He's the one got to cook the meal, and if the meal isn't right, it's going to be rejected. And if it's rejected, that means he's probably out of a job. And so, in my opinion, and I always go back to the Bill. Well, this is a statement I heard Bill Parcells say a long time ago on an interview when he was out of the league, and he was just like, I don't need to be in a situation where somebody's buying, somebody's telling me what groceries to get. I know what groceries I need to win. And that's just the way I look. I've looked at it that way since then. I understand the power dynamic. I appreciate the power dynamic, and that Poles needs to have some kind of control or leverage under the situation. But if the coach is the one that's going to have to be responsible for the meal cook in a situation like that, I think you refer to the coach, because he's got to coach that, and he's got to make it right. Whatever pick it is, Flus has to make that right. So if Flus wants, say, Latu or Dallas Turner instead of a receiver, I think you take that. Whether people think I'm right or wrong about that. I think that's the way good organizations are run. That GM is an extension of the coach. Like, man, I'm gonna give you this grocery list, and this is what I need you to get these things specifically for me. Okay, are you sure you want this? You want that? Yep. Get this brand for me. Go out and get them, and I'm gonna prove to you that I can win. And so that's the way it ought to go. But I appreciate everybody's opinion about it, man. I think it's been a great show, and I hope it was interesting for you guys. We kept it interesting throughout the show. I hope it was, because that's our job, to generate interesting conversations and interesting topics to talk about. Whether or not you agree with us talking about it or not, I'll let that alone, man. But we brought to the table what we thought would be good conversation. So I hope you guys appreciated it, man. And if you did, Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. But kids, let's give out some pleasantries before we get ready to get out of here.
Right on, right on. I'm gonna do things a little bit different today, No Maniacs. I'm gonna go through some super chats and some interesting chats that I came across throughout today. Like you guys were really chopping it up there, and it was pretty cool to sort of come across. So starting things out with our guy FFG Style. What up, Nomad Network? Happy Friday. I hope the moves polls made put us in the playoffs from now on. Big ups to the producers, Chris, Nick, Brian, and Brian's internet. Brian's in the back end, just shaking his head right now. But that's
to that, FFG. Appreciate that, man. Yes, I hope he does make the right moves. I hope he's right.
Absolutely. Mike Whalen, Panthers gonna Panthers. Another great one from JoJo Loco 5150. Pay the fans, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm so weird. I deserve." If you
find out they paying the fans, let me know what damn line and get in. I need to be in front of that mother.
Yeah, somebody need to cut me a check for sure. Back at it with FFG Style and Nomad Crew. How do you think our special teams will play a part? I assume in our ability to win games and sustain success this season. We're gonna put a pin in that one, and we'll touch on that when we get back. But it was an interesting little question, especially given the shifts to the kickoff game. So we'll touch on that when we get back on maybe Sunday. Bear Truth 9. Shawn, question: if you GM and you believe that Caleb that guy, and you consider where our team is and the money we had this year and the money we got next year along with our picks in 2025, do you pass up on your guy? And Shawn, I'll give you the opportunity to respond here, brother. What do you think?
If you think he's your guy, you go take your guy. That's it.
Yeah.
If you think he's your guy, all right. Again, we don't know whether he thought he was the guy, or again, if what he said was crap about the timeline, okay. But that was a very good out for Ryan Poles. Whether he's again, it is lying season, so you got to take whatever anyone says with a grain of salt. So if he believes Caleb's his guy, okay, that's cool. It's not. I don't think it. But then again, he gets paid to make that decision. I don't. I give my opinion. Okay, but let's not get it twisted. All right, GMs can be wrong too. So just because he makes that move doesn't mean it's right. Okay,
Exactly.
doesn't mean it's right. So let's not. So when it was like we won, like no, because if he makes a move, then you guys are gonna be like, oh, well, this guy sucked. You're gonna find excuses. I'm still standing. I'm 10 toes down on the decision. I think it was a bad decision to trade Justin Fields. I hope it works out because I want to celebrate a Bears championship. I want to celebrate a Super Bowl title. All right. I hope we can have a parade, get all the shootings, but that's another story. All right. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right. And I'm not backing down on it. I'm not going to backpedal. I'm not going to cower. No, I think Justin Fields is the best because I use this analogy. Okay. Or I guess it's a simile. In 1985, was Jim McMahon the best quarterback in the NFL? The answer to that resoundingly is no. Okay. But what he was a leader of men. And that's the most important thing. And the people who want to throw stats at me, this is how I know you don't know a damn thing about football or sports, because there's a chemistry in a locker room. All right. It's not like Justin Fields was a bum. All right. And people say, well, do you need Justin Fields to have all these, the all pro?
4,000.
Well, look what he did when he had stud players at Ohio State. He took them to the college football playoffs twice and the national championship game once. So if you get him good talent, guess what he can do? Well, he showed you what he can do. He can get you to the big game. And if it wasn't for a bum hip, it could have been a different outcome. So yes, this is what I'm talking about. Again, because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm not going to support the Bears. Because I don't like it doesn't mean I'm going to have ill will toward Caleb Williams. No, I still think it was a bad move, and I can still support the Bears. Okay, and if you don't like it, hey, you know what? I don't give a rat's ass. Honestly, I don't.
All right, kids, hold on. Kids, hold off on. We'll save any other questions for Sunday's show because I do got to get out of here. Let's just give some shout outs. We'll get to
sorry, man. There's reasons why I was doing this. Anyhow, you know what? We'll just call that a day. I'm glad I got Shawn to get the opportunity to sort of touch on that. In any event, No Maniacs. Jumping up with you guys in the chat's been crazy. Andre Barnes, you need to relax, bro. Everything's cool. We don't hate Caleb Williams. We haven't even met the guy yet or seen him. He's cool. We want him as our quarterback, and so does Ryan Poles. Obviously, there is, and Shawn really you touched on it. It's line season. Everything should be taken with a grain of salt. Don't believe all that you hear. And what you will hear on this show is speculation and conversation about those lies, right? Potential lies and potential changes that we see out there. So again, hopefully this keeps you guys informed, and more importantly, hopefully it keeps y'all entertained. That's what we're here to do. Nomad Network style every single bloody day, except for Saturday. I got to get drunk. Bishop, to you, my brother.
Thank you, my brother. Look, I'm just gonna say it like this, man. To those that say we sound angry, don't mistake passion and opinion for anger first and foremost. And if your ears are that tender, then I don't know what to tell you. With regard to us being special or deemed special, the roster's not completed yet. We haven't even gone to draft day yet. We haven't taken the first snap yet, and we haven't completed the season. So to deem us special, I wouldn't do that either right now. It's too early. Okay, but again, we're bringing you content with our opinions. And again, we're not here to agree with you every single day. We don't agree with each other every single day. And that's the reason why we have this platform the way we do. And that's why that's why you guys keep tuning in each and every day, because apparently, whether it's anger, whether it's opinion, whether it's passion, you guys are locked in, and we appreciate that. So with that being said, I want everybody to have a very blessed and safe weekend this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Again, thank you for hanging out with us a little over an hour, as you always do. Much appreciated. Please hit that like button on your way out. And definitely let everybody that you live and know and love, more importantly, let them know that you love them. Be safe out there. And I'm going to pass it to my man, Tim Bears. You know what I'm saying? Chi-Town, stand up.
That's what's up. Yo, hey, like you said, man, just shout out to the chat. Shout out to Nomad once again hosting. Shout out to tag team partners, Sports Zone, Chicago Sports Pad, a sports podcast. Everybody, everybody, it's all good, man. We got love. We got love for Caleb. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He for real, he is where he come in. You can't walk into the dojo and be like, well, I only got a white belt. Nah, you once you step up in there, you gotta just go ahead and just get the rocking. So he is where he is. He jumps in the middle of this thing. But it's love to everybody out there. Have a safe and beautiful weekend. And you go ahead, you got it, Shawn.
No Maniacs and Sports Owners Unite. Great show. It was passionate. Make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel, like you follow Nomad Network YouTube channel and the Chicago Sports Podcast YouTube channel. Make sure you do that. It doesn't cost anything, and you can support all three of us, and it doesn't cost anything. We are passionate. All right, we do all have our personal preferences. Okay, and again, like Bishop said, you keep coming back. All right, and that's why you like it, because we're real. That's why you like it. There's no company line we got to toe. There's no FCC regulations we got to abide by. All right, we keep it a buck. All right, we keep it a buck. And Keith said we don't agree with each other all the time. Okay, and those get heated. Those get debated. Those are heated debates. All right, so it doesn't mean, and so we're damn well we're not going to agree with you guys all the time either. So if you disagree, that's cool, no problem. Be respectful. All right, we can agree to disagree. You stand on your side of the fence, I'll stand on my side of the fence, but we're both looking and cheering on the Bears, and that's the bottom line. All right, so listen, guys, it's going to be a beautiful weekend here in Chicago, mid-50s, I should say, most likely. Man, get out there, enjoy it, do something nice for somebody today. You know what? There's too much hate in the world. Let's go do something nice, all right? Send someone a text you haven't spoken to. If you haven't talked to your mom, your dad, your brother, sister, cousin, someone you care about, just send them a quick text. Say, hey, man, you know what? Just want to say what's up. Hope all is well. All right, we need more love in the world, man. We need a lot more love. There's too much hate, too much violence. All right, I'm out.
Hey, Nomad.
Go for it.
Man, Shawn Sierra preached a sermon today.
Man, I
He
know.
waited to 10 minutes left in the show and preached a sermon. I'm ready to take up offering.
Red Mike.
Right now.
I'm ready to lay some. The bishop is ready to lay some hands, baby.
His name ain't Reverend. His name Rem Mike.
Rem Greg.
I don't know about all the church, but I did want to say to Shawn before we check out. Great show this morning, brother. I generally miss it because I'm a delinquent in the mornings. I'm sorry. In any event, great show with Harrison Graham today. I thought it was awesome. I just wanted to throw it out. All y'all who ain't following Sports Zone Chicago, you're missing out on great content, y'all.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, it was a good one, man. He was good, and I asked him if he come on here on this show, and he's like, yeah. So we'll reach out to him, and we'll try and get him on this show. So
rock and roll, love it.
Yeah, man. It's all about building, man. It's all about combine. Hey, unite. Sports owners, it's No Maniacs Unite, baby. It says strength in numbers. You remember what Cyrus said? This is all our turf.
Can you dig it?
Hey, Shawn just said the magic words. What are we doing? We are building. We are building. Help us build, man. That's exactly what we're trying to do. And I appreciate everybody on the show and their passions. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate all of that energy. You know what? I'm not going to give too much particular energy to the negativity in there. It's really uncalled for. But you have a right to your opinion. But at a certain point, man, you can't find pessimism in every damn thing, in every conversation that doesn't go your way, man.
Man has a right to ban you.
Right. So that gets to a point. I'm a very positive guy, and that gets to a point where I like to be around positive energy. If you're constantly bringing that negative energy in here, I'm probably gonna put you in the timeout and block you, because I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of the other guys on the panel, they have more of a stomach and tolerance to it, but I don't, man. I don't got time for that. You don't want to you can't be at least optimistic and respect people's points of view. Then go watch another show, man. Because quite frankly, I'd rather you not be here. And I just say that, and I say that respectfully, because I do appreciate the positivity that the majority of our chat brings, man. These people are optimistic. They love the show. They love the conversation. Whichever way it turns, they appreciate it. And somebody coming in with the negativity, I don't vibe with it, man. I just don't. I'm sorry. If I put you in a timeout, if I had to ban you, just know where it just came from. I just explained that to you. But
by the way, here's the Cash App.
Yeah, that too, man. We need all the contributions that we can get. I said all that, and I meant all of that, but we still need contributions to get people to training camp. And so we do want to put bodies down there. So anything you can send us, be a way of Cash App or Super Chat, will definitely help us along that route, man. We definitely want to put bodies down there. And so before we get out of here, I just want to say thank you guys once again. And if you're new to the channel, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Everybody, make sure you pound that like button anyway. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe. Also do it over there at Sports Zone Chicago for my guy, the SuperBack, and also do it for Brandon Hyatt Tracks over there at Chicago Sports Podcast. But with that being said, I want to wish you guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you on Sunday at 8 p.m. Central. But before we get out of here, I got to leave you with these famous words: love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Bear down. Yay.
Boom.